Johnny's Bite.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Friday, the 25th of April. Welcome to Johnny's Bites. Just so to inform you, what I told you yesterday, that some emergency work on our radio infrastructure here at 3FM 92.7 is happening between yesterday and today. So hopefully tomorrow you get to smile. And for those of you who are getting some interruption or poor quality feed, wherever you may be, we will get this done and dusted today. It actually started yesterday, it will happen today as well, and tomorrow and beyond will be good. So kindly bear with us. We apologize for any inconvenience, and we thank you for your continued support. Let me say thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale. Sonar Fashions is in Tamale in Kuko, but they deliver across the world. They made a special jarabia for me with a beautiful dapela to represent the culture of the North, but also for all of us to wear. And you can call them on 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. Get something special for you and yours. Thank you also to all those who spend time to spread our content and share it with the rest of the wonderful world. We are happy that you do that every single day, and we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much to all our listeners and viewers. For those who like and share our comments, I see people on this under the stream now liking and sharing and spreading it, and we are grateful. Thank you so much indeed. Now, this morning, you may be thinking about fuel prices coming down. It's come out about 4 or 5 times already, marginally. But I want to talk about food prices. Food is expensive. I am not joking. Food has become expensive. And I think that the new Agric Minister, together with all those who matter, must start looking at that direction. In the past, we had plenty for food and jobs. Dr. Ismail Yamson said we did plenty for food and jobs. The food didn't come, the jobs didn't come. We didn't see the money where it went. But we don't have plenty for food and jobs now. But I can tell you on good authority, and for those who know, those who buy, not those who wait for things to be bought for them, those who go and buy, those who go to the market, food is expensive. And it is a concern because at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, 1943, right, is food, clothing, and shelter. Food comes first, clothing, and then shelter. If food is expensive, you can imagine how much people then are spending for clothing and shelter. It's crazy. So we need to do something about it. It's very important. Food, clothing, and shelter. The people should not be complaining about the very basic things that will make their lives happy. I'm sure that you have also heard and seen videos of Kwabena Minta Kando, Minister for Health, MP for Dwaboso, with Alassane Chaib's Suhini, Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, and MP for Tamale North, in that, unpleasant argument with the doctors at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. The suggestion that this sacking of the CEO had happened because somebody felt an ego rise and acted with hot blood, etc., can be made. But also to emphasize the point that, and yesterday they donated some things, put their things up, let's talk about them. Also to add that, look, for the doctor to have said that, the death of a certain Salim who is 31 years, is a cherished member of his family, was being blown out of proportion, it didn't make sense to me. Well, people die every day anyway. Is that what the doctor is suggesting? That people die anywhere, every day anyway? You cannot say that the death of an individual is being blown out of proportion. Do you know what that individual does for his family? Do you know what the family has lost because that individual died? It may not have been your fault. but let us season our words with salt so that they taste good in our own mouths before we spew it out. The doctors are grandstanding everybody. The nurses are grandstanding everybody. They are not happy. Bernard Okoboy says, oh, Mintakano, call them. Let them come. Have a meeting with them. And then the question that comes to mind is, the doctors are demanding an apology. What exactly is the Minister for Health and is the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, what exactly are they going to be apologizing for? That they had an unannounced visit to the hospital, that they found that the washroom was dirty, that they found that there was a water problem, that they spoke about the death of Salim, which was becoming an issue up north in my beloved Dagman Kingdom. And then somebody said that, well, we are blowing this out of proportion. The minister said, you cannot say that. It is not right for you to say. But the doctor stuck to his grounds and on his grounds and said that. What exactly is Suhini and Mintakano supposed to be apologizing for? I want to know. Because so far, they have not, the doctors themselves who say we are grandstanding everybody because we are doctors and nurses and whatever it is, they have not told the people what the minister and the other deputy minister should be apologizing for. I am not saying that the minister and the deputy are right. They are human beings. They can't get it right all the time. They may be wrong. But what exactly are they supposed to be apologizing for? I want to understand. I want to know. The GMA should be telling us. Is the GMA happy that a doctor is telling the family and friends and the minister who they answer to, are they telling us that a doctor saying that somebody has died and the death is being blown out of proportion, does it make sense to them? Which part of the Hippocratic Oath that they took speaks about that? That somebody dies and they say, you are blowing it out of proportion. What nonsense is that? What nonsense is that? Because it doesn't make anything that doesn't make sense. It's nonsense, really. So maybe the GMA has to come back and tell us what exactly they are demanding an apology for. The doctors at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, they need to come and tell us what exactly people are going to be apologizing for. If they take time and they have a research department, they should go into the Tamale Township itself and ask people what their reviews are about the Tamale Teaching Hospital. They will hear it. I go to Tamale. I know Tamale. I go to Tamale very often. Once in a while, I'll pass through, but I go to Tamale very often. I put my ears on the ground. They need to do some self-introspection. Not to sit on a high horse. Look, a friend of mine who works in the UK, who is a senior nursing officer, said they got to a point that the mayor, he came pushing beds. The CEO of the hospital in Southampton, he came pushing beds to help because they felt that people were stranded, and he came pushing. When you go out there, the patients have rights. And they are the bosses, even on their sick bed, even if they are going to die, they remain the bosses. Here in our country, it is not the patient that is the boss. I said, I have sat in a queue before in a public hospital with somebody who is sick. A doctor emerges from the consulting room and says, Mapong, I've closed. Wait for the night doctor or afternoon shift doctor. He's coming. Wait. He'll come at 4. Can you go and do that? I said that the jobs that our doctors and nurses refuse to do here, when they travel out there, they do 12 folds. Here, they lord themselves over us. When they go there, they know. And because most of them know that what they have is a working visa, they know that as soon as you lose that job, unless you find another job immediately, you are on the next plane back to Ojakrom. They know. Must we always be begging? I'm saying what they're asking for the minister and the deputy minister to be begging. It's okay. What exactly are they going to be begging for? I'm asking that question. You run a hospital that washroom that is not functional, is dirty, stinky, smelling, is gathering all the bacteria and whatever it is. Somebody comes to talk about it because they have seen it, and you are raising concerns that you have to be apologized to. Apologize for what? If I were the minister, I'll let all of you go home. There are people waiting at home to come and serve. There are people who are jobless who are waiting for financial clearance. I will clear all of you and put them there. Enough of this ego trips. Enough. Show me the items that were taken there by the minister. You have had all these things. He had to take a minister to come to the place for you to be able to tell the minister that we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have, because of that we are going on strike. Ego trip. So why were you running the hospital? And why was even Hefra, why was Hefra looking on when you didn't have all these things? Why were they looking on when you didn't have all these things? And you were running. Is it really a teaching hospital? What were you running the hospital? What were you teaching with? When cases are referred to you, how are you dealing with them? Look, 10 million in the past, the finance minister, 10 million, Dr. Amina, Adam, 10 million, we're told was released to you. It is supposed to be a legacy debt. People were threatening the supply, and the minister stood on his grounds and said, 10 million, give it to them. What did you use that money for? What was that money used for? Stop the ego trip. Put the thing up. This is the letter. Dated the 26th of August, 2024. 10 million released to you. 2024. We are in 2025. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Where did the money go? And the same problems persist. Was the money not released? Was the money not released? You are serving people, oh. I say, I have gone out. I've seen people, nurses and doctors who ordinarily, they won't do those things they do that. They won't do them here. But in Obronikrum, they do them. Stop the ego trips. Now, there are people waiting at home to get financial clearance, come and work. Let's see the donated items. Let me mention them one after the other. Digital spigonometer. There's bowl with stand, 3. Kickabout bucket. Instrument cabinet, 3. Word screen, 5. Operating lamp, 1. Delivery set, 5. ECG, 1. Emergency resuscitation trolleys, 5. Fetal stethoscope, 5. Ambu bag, 5. Nebulizer set, 20. Patient trolley, 5. Wheelchair, 10. Examination lamp, 3. Fetal heart detector, 4. ECG machine, 2. Bulb suction, 2. Oxygen concentrator, 5. Pipette tips, 10 to 100. I don't know what that means. Defibrillator, 4. Vino ultrasound scanner with accessories, 1. Low-stain plasma vent transport ventilator, 2. Voltage stabilizer, 3. Viral ICU ventilator, 2. Draga transport ventilator, 1. Draga ICU ventilators, 3. Draga ICU cardiac monitor, 6. Draga warmer, 1. Draga resuscitator, 1. Draga phototherapy, 2. Draga anesthesia machine, 2. Face masks, 20,000. Assorted sutures, 5,000. Draga infant incubators, 2. And medicines and consumables. These were donated yesterday. Say you don't have these things. They have been given to you. The 10,000, the 10 million, what was it used for? I showed you the letter. What exactly was it used for? Let me move away from it. Now, my friends at the Ghana Bar Association, they have written. I called them out. I said we had not heard from them since this whole Chief Justice, Eco-Vicent, and all the mixed petitions came up. So the GBA has written. We will read the love letter together. So the Ghana Bar Association, it says, over the past 2 months, the General Counsel of the Ghana Bar Association has been closely monitoring developments on the process for the removal of the Chief Justice, which has culminated in a suspension by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. Per the Constitution, Code of Ethics and Regulations of the GBA concerns itself with matters affecting the legal profession, which include but not limited to 1, defending and upholding freedom and justice in Ghana, and the maintenance of the independence of the judiciary. As at 27th of March 2025, when the General Counsel of the GBA met, 3 petitions had been submitted for the removal of the Chief Justice, and 2 cases have been instituted at the Supreme Court challenging the procedure that has been triggered for the removal of the Chief Justice, with subsequent applications for injunction of the said process. The GBA is mindful of the provisions of Article 1466 and 7 of the 1992 Constitution, which detail the process for the removal of the Chief Justice by providing as follows. Where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 judges of the Supreme Court and 1 whom shall be appointed chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. 7. The committee appointed under Clause 6 of the article shall inquire into the petition and recommend to the President whether the Chief Justice ought to be removed from office. The GBA also notes the provision of Article 1468 and 9 and 10, which indicate that the sittings of the committee shall be held in camera, and the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, may suspend the Chief Justice. The GBA, while recognizes the constitutional prescriptions for the removal of the Chief Justice under Article 1466 and to 10 of the Constitution, and mindful of the fact that presently the entire matter is sub judice, it is the hope and belief of the GBA that the actors involved in the whole process would have the time-tested tenets of the rule of law as their guiding principles, and its application follow the spirit of the law. It is expected that persons who play even the minutest role in the process will bear in mind Article 296, that's the portion of the Constitution on discretionary powers of the 1992 Constitution, on the exercise of discretion, and will act in a manner that safeguards and enhances the independence and image of the judiciary. Justice emanates from the good people of Ghana and is administered by the judiciary headed by the Chief Justice. The GBA shall carry out its mandate to defend, strengthen, and enhance confidence in the justice delivery system in Ghana. The GBA shall remain the conscience of society, the voice of the voiceless, and act to safeguard the rule of law and uphold the Constitution of the Republic, which embodies the wishes and aspirations of the people of Ghana. Dated this in Accra, this 24th day of April 2025, Efuagati Mrs. is the national president of the GBA. Kweku Jew Bafor is the national secretary of the GBA. Let it be on the record that until we spoke, the GBA hadn't written. So the GBA has responded to our call to speak on the matter. Essentially, they are talking about constitution and law and following the process, and for everybody to play their part well so that the process is sacrosanct, right? That's what the GBA literally is asking for. But is that all the GBA can say? In the past, the GBA has had an opinion on very weighty matters. But is that all the GBA can say? Well, this is what they have said. There's also FIDA. Let's read from FIDA, please. Federation of International Lawyers, right? Let's read from them. Quickly. Put it up. Let's read the FIDA document quickly. This is also dated Thursday, the 24th of April, 2025. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Ghana, expresses profound concern over the recent suspension of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. This action has far-reaching implications for the independence of the judiciary, the protection of constitutional governance, and the ongoing commitment for gender parity in national leadership. So they have introduced another subject, gender parity. A Chief Justice is not only the head of the judiciary, but also a symbol of integrity, impartiality, and independence that defines the rule of law in any democracy. The suspension of a sitting Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Arabe Saba Sakitokonu, particularly one of the few women to have held this position in Ghana's history, raises serious constitutional, institutional, and social concerns. Such an act, if devoid of transparency, due process, and public accountability, undermines public trust in the very institutions meant to uphold justice. FIDA Ghana, as a staunch advocate for the rule of law and the protection of vulnerable people, especially women, advises that the right of the Chief Justice be respected and upheld at all times, and her office be treated with the dignity that it deserves. FIDA Ghana find disconcerting the increasing spate of removal of individuals from strategic, constitutional, and institutional leadership, especially when such persons are women, regrettable. These removals have become the norm whenever there is a change in government from the leadership of one party to the other. These actions serve only to weaken public and constitutional institutions and may potentially discourage competent and qualified individuals, particularly women, from accepting appointments to serve their nation in those institutions. Then they continue that this development may be viewed within the broader context of the constitutional and legal gaps that leave high-ranking positions vulnerable and potential interference. The current legal framework must have adequate safeguard to ensure the security of tenure and independence of the heads of institutions, such institutions including our judiciary. Governments have the right to remove individuals where the need arises. However, the need to do so must be dearly or clearly discernible and stated grounds in accordance with our constitution and not for partisan considerations or expediency. Finally, the provisions of Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024, Act 1121, to ensure minimum of 30% representation of women in decision-making spaces remain woefully unfulfilled and falls short of the stated goals of affirmative action law. This flies in the face of the promises in the NDC's Resetting Ghana manifesto. FIDA is therefore urging government to ensure that it keeps to its promise to the women of Ghana. FIDA therefore calls for the transparency regarding the process and urgent resolution of the matters before the committee to enable the Chief Justice to resume her constitutional duties to the judiciary in Ghana. So if she's found guilty or not, you are saying that she should be returned. Okay. Recommends that for urgent constitutional and legal reforms to provide stronger protection for office leaders, holders, especially heads of independent constitutional bodies, to prevent arbitrary dismissals. Reiterate the call for implementation of the provisions of the Affirmative Action and Gender Equity Act at 1121 to provide 30% of females in leadership positions as a matter of national priority and justice. Finally, FIDA Ghana urges government and all political, private, and social sectors to recommit to advancing women's leadership and strengthening the independence of institutions in Ghana. Signed by Susan Ayite, Acting Executive Director. FIDA, good morning to you. Were you in this country when Madam Charlotte Osei was literally kicked out of office? She's a woman, no? Were you in Ghana when Miss Lamte at Shraj was kicked out? You were in Ghana, no? She's a woman, no? Has any law been broken so far? You are talking law, constitution. Charlotte Osei herself is a lawyer. She's a woman, female lawyer. Charlotte Osei, she belongs to you. Were you in this country? Did you make such statements? No, I'm asking you. I'm not fighting. I'm just asking. Did you make similar statements when Charlotte Osei, a lawyer, a female lawyer, was hounded out of her office for less? Did you make any of these comments? No, the people are asking me to ask you. That's why I'm asking you. Did you make any of these comments? Did you at all make any of? Did you write such a missive for public concern? Did you try? Did you attempt? Find me the former Chief Justice, the Chief Justice on suspension's video. Not former Chief Justice, the Chief Justice on suspension. She made a very deep statement. Listen to her.
Listening to our Lady Chair on ensuring that you have the competencies to be in the place that you are put. And I was reminding myself of recent conversations when people would say to me, "You have held up. You have done well in this onslaught." And I realized that what has held me up is the assurance of competence. Simply, no decision that I have made in my role as Chief Justice or in my capacity as President of a panel of the Supreme Court has come from anything but a knowledge of law. No matter how many noises are made, The law is the law. And the only answer one can give to all the hand-waving is the legal answer, unless we want something else. But I am quite sure that Ghana as a society is not looking for chief justices that bend and give them something other than law. And therefore, here I am. Everyone gets the law.
Everyone gets the law. And so far, nobody has been able to point out whether the law has been broken or not. It's a process. Whether those who believe that it is a process in theory but should not be practiced, they are there. There are those who also believe that let her ladyship, the Chief Justice, go through the process. If she is blameless, she will come out unscathed and she will come and take back her job. If she is found culpable, the rules are there. Why is everybody going on and on about women now? FIDA is introducing women and blah, blah, blah. All this emotional talk, it will not go anywhere. Let's focus on what the law says. Because the law cannot be applied differently. When the law applies to me, it must apply to every single individual. As the CJ herself said, everybody gets the law. Are we getting the law? Everybody gets the law. So let everybody get the law. Because nobody is above the law. The acting CJ has directed that something be put out there. I'll read it to you, and then we'll get into some quick issues, Shadrach, before the footbridge at Kaneshi, it's under attack. We'll talk about it. This is from the Deputy Judicial Secretary to the registrars of courts, courts of appeal, and the Supreme Court. Subject: assignment of courts and fixing of the dates for newly filed cases and all newly filed applications. Is dated the 23rd of April, 2025. It says, I've been directed by the Acting Honorable Chief Justice to inform you that all newly filed cases and applications must be brought to his attention for assignments of courts and panelling of judges where there are more than one court and for the fixing of dates for hearing. Take note that this directive supersedes all previous directives and until further notice. Please accept the compliments of the Acting Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. Cyracuse B. Bapuro. Is the acting chief, is common compared to the acting chief justice. Cyracuse Bapuro. Cyracuse Bapuro, that's the name. So, a confessing good morning to you. But yours is a newly filed case. Okay, I'm just greeting you. That's all. Good morning to you. Now, quickly, let's pay attention to an Agenda 111 project. First, there's a news clipping where the former advisor on everything held to the president. I hear him speaking, Dr. Nsiansare, a very nice gentleman, but he's suggesting to us how teaching hospitals should be managed. He was the advisor to the president on everything health. This idea, whether he bounced it off President Akufo-Addo or he didn't bounce it off him, we don't know, but it was never implemented. Suddenly in opposition, he remembers that something has to be bounced off. Agenda 111 progresses steadily. Trade project to be completed by the end of 2023, according to Dr. Nsiansare. Show me the Trade hospital. When Minta Kando visited the place. So Minta Kando used to be a ranking member on the health committee. Now he's the health minister. What you see on your screen, if you're watching us on Facebook, right, is the supposed Trade hospital that was commissioned hurriedly. And it is not completed. So who were we fooling, really? Who were we fooling? Who were we fooling? And he's there with Kwame Agboja, who is Minister for Roads and Highways. Right? A project that has not been completed has hurriedly been commissioned. Who were we fooling? Who?
Are you going to seal this one?
Yes. So it's part of the document. Well, once they bring, then you get to cover here and this week.
So what's the purpose of commission or
Why? So where's the money? Where is it? My final issue for this morning. The Kaneshi footbridge. And I'm sure that the AMA is listening and watching. The regional minister, Madam Oklu, is watching. It is supposed to be a footbridge, not a market center, even though it's close to the market. It is supposed to be a footbridge. And people sell on the bridge. They didn't start today, but now even the human beings cannot find space to walk on the bridge. And woe betide you if you touch any of their wares. You'll be in trouble. If the market is expanding, can we find another spot and build people a market where they can sell decently? Why do we sit and watch for some of these things to happen? Why? Look, show me the picture. Maybe they get a clearer version of what is supposed to be happening, Kuzo. Look at it. The bridge itself is suffering from structural integrity. Right? The bridge is suffering from structural integrity. Look at it. Look at how dirty the whole place is. Look at the bridge. I was a kid in the 90s when this was put up. I remember so well. Construction pioneers did the median wall. I remember it so well. Look at what has become of the Kaneshi footbridge. It's dirty, it's breaking apart, and people are sitting on it and selling. When the bridge started, the concrete slabs you see on the bridge were not there. When it was first constructed, the concrete slabs you see, the concrete slabs were introduced later. Now look at the bridge, and people are selling on it. They actually do not carry their wares away. They just wrap, polythene bags around it and huge tarpaulins, and they leave it until the next day. So there's constant weight on the bridge. And the city authorities are watching, sitting aloof. Let this break, and we will have problems. Look at it. Just look at it. Bring back that photo. And the gentleman was trying to look at the space that the people are supposed to be using to become. So if you are an old woman or an old man and you need to climb the bridge, but you need to hold on to the rails to be able to climb, you cannot, because somebody is sitting by the rails and selling. I'm not against people making an honest living, but I'm saying that let's create the avenues for our people, and let's stop behaving like bush people. Let's stop behaving like bush people. All our footbridges have become market centers. Why? All our footbridges, and you go out there, you see a footbridge remains a footbridge. All our footbridges have become markets. Why? Are we okay? And then they're high. Look at how dirty the whole place is. So dirty. The bridge is breaking. People are sitting on the bridge and it's breaking. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. That's 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.